the best thing to do ever. Welcome back to the Walking Dead train. So how you been? And just talk about life, normal life.
If you want to name the podcast The Walking Dead Train, I am in. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of We Talking About. Today, we're going to be talking about Crazy Head, episode number 2, still of season 1.
Yes.
This show is definitely growing on me. I'm enjoying it. I like the characters. There were a couple moments in this where I was laughing.
I laughed at this episode.
Paused because I was laughing.
Yes.
Just to jump right into like my favorite part of the show
for it.
is when Amy, is that her name?
Now it is.
I forget the girl's name.
I could have told you any character's name. I know Jake. Who's Jake, motherfucker? You don't know Jake. I know Jake. But the minute you said Amy, I was like,
I don't even know the main character's name. The main character, like, you know, the white girl, I think her name is Amy.
Let's call her the blonde girl so we don't get...
Isn't she brown?
We don't get hateful comments. What?
Isn't she a brown-headed? She's blonde? I don't know the show at
all. What show do we watch?
So my favorite moment of the show is when she is sent to distract the brother.
She just goes for the
and
cock,
like he goes to leave. She's like, this is a move I've been telling my girlfriends to do for years.
I thought
and
of
to see it work.
I thought of that instantly. And you should honestly point people to this just to be like, that's how it would go.
Yeah.
Because he's an awkward guy.
And then he immediately goes for the boob. He's like, okay.
Is this? Yep. Okay.
This works.
Because we know a lot of people, right? There's like, well, he's too nerdy. He doesn't realize I'm flirting with him. I have like, just come on, go, you know, like a
yes, I have suggested to many of my nerdy, awkward friends, like just grab his penis.
Just go for his cock. And they're like, I couldn't possibly.
Like,
that would be horrible. He would freak out. And we're like, no.
I don't think so. I don't think there's any scenario where that happens. He just doesn't understand that I like him. I just want the signals are getting crossed. Grab his penis.
I'm trying to drop hints, and he just keeps, you know, like he thinks we're friends. Or something. I'm like, no, he doesn't. He goes home like, oh, I'm in such love with her. This sucks. Why doesn't she know I like her?
Yeah,
that's what's happening in this relationship.
And it also, if it's not going to work, if it's ever going to work, and it doesn't after you grab his penis, it wasn't meant to be. It was never going to happen. I just saved you years of time.
Yeah, you'll know. Then you don't have to pine away or whatever.
Exactly.
Right? Because best case scenario for you, it's bad. Well, no, best case scenario. Worst case scenario for you where it's good, he goes, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, thank you. Let's go out and have, like, you want to go to the movies first, maybe? Something like that? And she's like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. He's like, okay, but now I understand. And now I can shift gears into you like me mode.
And that's never going to happen anyway, because regardless, you're going to have sex that night.
I'm just saying, like, even if he's that awkward and weird or something like that, you've now made it clear your intentions and things can proceed.
Yes. But back to this show. So, what we didn't expect, at least opening off the bat of the show, was like the friend's actually dead. She didn't just come right back to life right then. And I was like, oh, like, this was not what I was expecting at all, because the way they set that character up, it wasn't like a one and done. I didn't feel like, you know, like, and sometimes there's a setup in the beginning of like a horror movie, and you meet a character who you think is the main character, and then like it dies like almost immediately.
Right.
This didn't feel like that to me. This felt like a character that was going to be recurring.
Yeah, you
and
can go
it was
back
really
and be
surprising.
Like, she wasn't a real character anyway.
Yeah, I was really surprised to be like, oh, she's actually dead. That doesn't make like any sense to me.
I thought she was dead, and when they like showed that she's dead, I was like, wow, she's really dead. But then I was like, well, this show is British, so it's just brutally British and Britishly brutal, and it must.
But then there's like a noise in the woods, and I'm like, oh, did she come out of her grave?
Yes.
Oh, it was a rabbit. Oh, all right, and the rabbit's now dead.
Did you like her kill just
tears?
Just killing the rabbit? Yes. I was like, wow, she's fast. Something like that.
Yeah, but like I love that. That's totally how human nature is. You will cry more about an innocent animal than you will about a person. And like,
a person you didn't
while
know,
that's
I guess,
like
or
satire in this show, it's completely true. I know more people that care about like, you know, a dog being abused than like a terrorist attack, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, people, get your priorities straight.
Yeah,
like, but the animal had no choice. I'm like, but that's a person.
We had a whole like debate, and I think I was still working at or visiting the video store.
Sure.
And it was Katrina time or something like that, and they were and like someone was like, oh, this is so great. Look at this person. They're like in like boats and like they're saving animals or whatever the fuck. And I was like, are literally all of the people saved or something like that? And they were like, I don't know. Like what's the difference? And I'm like, what do you mean? What's the difference? They have boats and like fucking things to like grab animals and
yeah.
They didn't see the point.
There's too many humans apparently. We need more animals.
Well, humans made their all right. No,
they made their bed and they swam.
And now it's wet. and now it's wet. I mentioned the rabbit here. Before that, before they go bury, they go to like the store.
Yes.
And there's this endlessly hilarious fucking thing where it's like, you want us to dig a grave with spoons, and like the big spoons, and there's back and forth banter stuff.
So
all super
it confused
good.
me because of British humor. So like in America, a spade is like a tiny triangle trowel of sorts.
Okay.
And like she picked up spoons that are roughly the same size, and I was like, their plan all along was to dig it with spades. That seems so stupid. Then I'm like, oh, shovels are called spades over there.
Yes.
All right.
I was too hip to take that side.
I
side.
would have not even
Yeah.
gave it a second thought if she didn't pick up tiny spoons
Right.
because they're the same size.
Okay.
So that threw me in a way that it shouldn't have, but it did.
Did you like Checkout Guy?
I did.
Like
I did
alarm
like
bells,
Checkout.
huge alarm bells, like helicopters, everything.
Yes.
Woo, sirens. What are you talking about? Who are you burying? And then they're like, and this kind of sets off the beginning of this gigantic like. I sort of love it. It's this theme of like the horrible lying or something like
Yes.
that.
Oh, and the lies
It was-
are triumphantly terrible the whole time. It's so funny.
Because they peppered it in episode 1 with like it's my dog Poochie or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And then and they even like make fun of each other for how bad their lie was, and then they go on to tell an even worse lie somehow.
Yeah.
Like, and it's pretty good because why would you be so good at misleading people? And like the other characters in this show are kind of like, wait, no, what? Like they're not just like buying it; they're like calling them out
Yes.
too, and it's funny and it's real and it's
The
I like it a
lying
lot.
the lying in the car about the hockey team, that was
Yes.
my favorite because that guy who I originally didn't like,
Okay.
his little one-off like lines on things, I was laughing genuinely about like his like oh the bumming. You think they wear the gloves?
When he was going on and on, it was one of those fucking things. The gloves pushing you down, smell of leather, and he's going down this fucking like long thing and getting like all like creepy
He's pretty
about it.
good.
And just him like throwing shapes and missing.
Yeah, everything happening around him.
That's when I was like, okay, that's pretty good. Because me too, I was like, there's he driving them around, and I bet he's not gonna know for so long, and that he's gonna believe all their stupid things because he likes the girl, and he's got hot dogs in her face and all this fucking.
But
all
like,
that
it's
stuff.
hard to believe that's
But
even
then
the
it
same
became
guy.
really cool, right?
Like, like the writer must have changed on this episode, or at least their thoughts on this character, because he's not that like rapey, cocky idiot that he was in like that first episode. In this episode, he's like this like charming idiot, like
Okay.
like a different type of idiot. Like
Yes,
like,
it
you
is
know
a
what I mean?
subtly different type of
Yeah.
idiot. Maybe pilot to funding or something
Yeah,
or whatever.
something.
Yeah. The Andy Dwyer effect, as we call it.
Sure.
You become, it's much subtler than that.
Oh well, yeah.
Okay. We kind of talked about that part with that dude. He eventually finds out, which I think is cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think he'd have to because
Yeah.
he's probably going to be the thing that drives him around in every episode. So eventually, that there would
That's
also be
cool.
a series of weird lying to continue, and you need another like your Amy, as far as I've named her now, and maybe her real
I
name.
think it's Amy
Um,
Raquel.
So she is an exposition person where she's going to be asking questions, but
Yeah.
this is that one more chance to like really hammer things home. Or like, wait, I don't understand. Why is that?
I was
Like,
gonna say, yeah. So like Amy's like all all in on board now, where it's like we have to do this and like cut this off and do that, and she's like, okay, let me find a knife, and he can be like, what, and like
exactly, and you need that.
established whatever. Yeah, yeah. That's cool.
the,
It's like a this little Scooby van.
The great twist I thought here was that guy was not the love interest, but he
I
was the
know.
father. I was
Yes.
like, interesting.
Super interesting.
That's very weird, but I like it. And then the fact that you lost him so quickly, I also disliked. But I think we'll see him again because I don't think he's dead. I think he's just sent back to the underworld. And
Yeah.
I think you'll get a thing where it's going to be like the Winchester's
Yeah.
father from Supernatural, and he's like, you're going to see him again here and there throughout things.
Yeah, it's totally open to that because
Yeah.
he can come back from the underworld maybe, or there's
And
a way
in
or
a different
something
body
like
because they already said he hops bodies.
that.
But that was another thing where I was like, I was waiting for them to say when they first said that was her father. I'm like, wait a minute. So does he not age once he has a demon in him? How the fuck does that work? Something they didn't explain at all. Is he the brother's father too? Because like
I don't know.
would the brother not know that he's a demon? Like, or did he come in late? Is that a stepfather scenario? He's clearly an older brother. With like right, there's a lot of there. Where I'm like, what is the explanation for that?
I was thinking about that too. They don't look super alike.
But it's also a TV show and they're not related, so that could be it too.
Totally.
Mhm.
So you can't conclude based on that. But he is sort of an older whatever figure and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's literally. Do they ever say like you're my baby sister and like do a thing?
I don't think they say baby, but I'm
Well,
pretty
because if he's the older brother, right? He was born first,
true.
perhaps pre-possession, and then the demon possesses her dad.
True,
And
but the
now
issue
she's
is
got demon in her.
the issue is if the demon father actually raised this daughter, regardless, the boy is not old enough that he wouldn't have been in the house at the same time, so he should love that kid too. And if you told one you're a demon, you should tell the other one you're a demon, and he should know who he is.
Yeah, I think if true, then the explanation must just be like they had this special bond about being a demon, whatever the fuck.
I'm sure they'll say more about that because somebody has to eventually be like, wait, what?
Wait, what? Yeah, there might be some totally different explanation for
or it'll never be explained, and it's something they didn't think about.
I think it's okay. I think it's got a lot of potential.
It didn't kick me out of the experience. It just immediately when I was like, wait a minute, how's that work?
So like, he's my demon dad, and she's like, what? And then she goes, he possessed my dad, jizzed in my mom, here I am, something like that. And you're like, okay, awesome, great.
It's weird though. Again, thinking of these things, I can understand someone possessing somebody else and like taking advantage of their wife or something like that, right? But then like you'd think you'd do your own thing. But no, he's like a caring individual, which we've proved that some of them are not evil. But the woman who attempts to kill the father, in fact, succeeds. She is evil, I would say, in all regards. And she possessed a single mother and then just kept the child. Didn't like let the child die, didn't leave it somewhere. Like, so I'm like, what are the rules here? Like, why are things like, are the demons genuinely good, but they have like some other jobs? Like, why do you have a babysitter? Why not be like, hey, demon number 6 over there, watch my goddamn kid, or hey, kid, you're now a demon, or like something.
Like demon number 6, eat my child.
Yeah,
so it just doesn't cause a problem.
A couple things are weird, and I'm sure they'll have to explain more. Like they have to, something.
Yeah, I don't know how long she's been possessing that, or it's been possessing that woman or whatever. I took it to be like it was kind of recent, but I guess it's not. I don't know. It's interesting. I like the feel that it's giving, and the Scottish dude makes a comment like, I'm concerned about all of our kind, and he's only thinking about himself and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a whole, like, there's a lot of us, and we're in a community.
They made a comment
and know
that
each
said
other.
The Scottish dude's demon is buried deep. So that's like a power, I guess, he has to hide his nature.
Oh, there you go.
So I was like, okay, so that's why no one's seen him yet.
Right.
So he is a demon. He's not like some human working for things or some other thing. He is a demon that's just hidden deep. So either he's just I'm such an old demon, I've grown more powers and the ability to hide, or that could just be his power in general. Like this other demon had the ability to like suck life force out of people.
I wrote down she's a sucker. That's
like a succubus or something such. But yeah, we now know our main character. Raquel also has her father's power of telekinesis,
of moving things.
Which I thought was going to save her dad using, but didn't. I pictured it was going to be like an icicle to pierce the heart, and because the person saying the chant is also in the circle. So I'm like, they still would have felt like all the rules would still have happened. Yeah,
yes.
Was my thought. But in actuality, she does stab, kill, and send back to hell her father.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right that the dad will come back as a different actor or something like that.
Probably.
And the mom demon got like zapped or whatever, but they dragged her off, and I bet she's fine or something will happen with her. They left it like super open to everything. There's really nothing closed off or something like that.
Yeah, no, all open-ended. And is there any more middle bits here to talk about?
Well, I kind of like the whole thing of like, this is the last time I possess a single mom, and like, just the idea of having to deal with the bullshit and like keep up your cover or like whatever the hell you're doing here or something like that. The whole thing has like a cabin in the woods vibe. Where, like, even in that same scene when the Scottish head demon is, like, showing, like, we just blown off some steam. Yeah, we killed this guy and all that stuff. And she's just like, oh, look at you or whatever. All these different things happening. Like, it's very, like, this is run-of-the-mill normal life, but there's horrible things, and it's got the good
No, and she has a weird, human side. Like, when she kneels down, she's like, oh, the ice is cold on your knees.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, so you're very much still, like, a female human, but you're a demon, and you can suck souls, and you kill things, and you're doing this. But there's still a weird grounding to Earth with, like, taking care of the kids, having to worry, they're still very much in a human way, because I think they can't draw too much attention to themselves. And at the same time, when their body dies, they do have to find a new host, and anything they have worked for or worked towards, because I don't think they're always in, okay, it's demon fight or flight mode. I think, they are having lives.
Living, yeah. No, it's this weird, the Joss Whedon-y, it's like demons are people too, or something like that.
Yeah.
And he like she's like making fun of his dick and weird shit like that.
Yeah.
Where it's not just like we are from hell, we have nothing else to do except hell things. It's very much like, oh come on, and all this like dumb.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I super like that. I just started jotting down lines that were like made
Humorous?
me nothing to like read off here or something like that. The whole Amy likes to fish and all that stuff. I
Yeah.
really like how how their brother's like they didn't do a very good job on your nails because like all these obvious horrible lies. We're like, why would you lie that you're going somewhere where you're supposed to come back different in some way and then obviously not go? Like it's great.
I like during that fishing lie. Oh, what do you catch? Oh, you know, goldfish, starfish, tuna, or whatever she says, and I'm like,
yeah.
all right, you named 2 things that are nowhere near where you
No,
are.
'cause, like,
Perfect.
Because at first he's just freaking out, thinking of like the word fish and just saying other words that have fish in it or something.
Yeah.
And then she goes cod or something
Cod.
crazy like that. No, it's awesome. And the guy says he I clean myself with sliced bread. And then when I run out of bread, I use ham.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that made me laugh too, right? Because his point is like, I'm telling you, I'm putting all my shit on the table. Put some of your shit on the table. I want to know what's happening here.
Yes.
And then later she to build back his trust.
Right. The
He's like, I sometimes pick off my big toenail and use it as a toothpick. And he's like, what? Why? Ugh. She's like, you wipe yourself with ham.
You wipe
Fair
yourself
enough.
with meat.
Fair enough. It's like a natural wet nap.
It's like Paul Man's wet nap or something like that. No, it's fucking crazy. And then
I
the
wipe myself with the meat.
the cock grabbing, of course.
That was genius.
Fucking and that leads into I think this might have been for some reason got me laughing the most like out loud. A lot of stuff was super funny, but when she's like, go in the bedroom and I'll be back for you, and then he's like posing and waiting for her and like thinking about it, keeps cutting back to this awkward him like anticipating, and I liked how he wasn't still there like hours later. He was like dressed and back in the kitchen and being like, "Where you been?" and all that shit. And I was like, "Okay, good," because I thought that would have been like everything is basically landing and working and making sense and being good.
And I noticed today. So the last time we watched an episode, we're like, well, that was very quick. It felt like it is a half-an-hour show.
No, it's not. What?
Yeah, it's 30 minutes.
No, this one I even checked. I thought and it was like 26 remaining and 18 in or something like that.
I think I looked at the thing when it started. I think it said 30.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I checked at the beginning and not toward the middle.
Okay.
But I will double check next episode for 100% certainty.
Yeah, I didn't specifically check to like report on it, but I like paused because I was doing something or whatever, and I thought I don't know. I think it definitely goes quick regardless. I think it is like a 40-something or 50-minute whatever show. We're looking now. Should we fact check this?
I'm tempted to look right now just to get
fact check this while I say.
Sure.
I liked him. Yeah, more of that hockey stuff where he's just like, where he's like classic at one point. What is going on, eh? He says like, you better run when like they're leaving.
Well, I thought something funny was happening there because I'm like, he thinks he's talking to some like gay hockey player
some
rapist.
Weird gay hockey rapist.
But really, you're
and like, did he not see them like dragging him and like beating people and like he thinks?
I thought he saw them
character?
pulling away like a limp body after a good bumming as
right
as
and
he would have
and
thought
just
it.
like assumed that was the case or something.
That's
like
what
that?
I think he thought. But it's hard to say.
So a lot of that was unclear. Where I'm like, I'm not sure what all these people are seeing or when they're seeing it or whatever the fuck like that.
It's hard to ever be sure what someone is thinking because you can make them say.
Well, like
anything.
it cuts to the thing happening, and the show is so silly and like weird that when it cuts to them talking and or looking at the thing, I don't know. Did they just really see that? Because the Jake dude seemed very chill for like a long time.
Apparently, it is a 60-minute show, but that doesn't make any sense to me. I have to call bullshit on the internet.
You have to call bullshit. It goes very fast though. It's super good. That's what we were saying last time, which is like it's like a treat. It's like a nice little thing. We didn't talk about Sawyer being like a badass. Doing the telekineticness, and all these demons like showing up are only even a problem because the like mom like fakes him out and all that stuff.
Yes, had everyone come at him from the front, it looks like he could have killed them all.
Right.
Because they are as fragile as humans would be. So like hit them with something blunt and they're gonna die.
I know, yeah.
Which is good. I guess bad if you're in a surrounding area because the smoke would just rush out of that body and go into you because you're not sending them to hell, you're just sending them out of that body.
I was thinking about this actually, and like, yeah, when they die, like they've only showed, I think, the smoke coming out, correct me if I'm wrong, during the exorcism and during the icicle through the heart.
Yes.
Because even when the guy dies and like possesses the friend, they don't show that. It just like happens or whatever the fuck, right? So I don't even know the rules.
That could just be budgetary, or that could actually be not happening. It's hard to say.
So I don't know how long they have, or how far they can go, or how it works. If that guy just got lucky that the friend was there.
What was that movie with Denzel Washington?
I love that movie.
With "Time on My Side" song being silent.
I don't know I don't know anything about that. I was going to talk about The Fallen, where he possesses people.
Yes, that's The Fallen.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and
those are the
30,
possession rules.
He has
that I was
30 paces or something.
It's like one breath or something, which like equates to a certain amount of stuff or something.
Yeah,
it's part of the old legend thing or whatever the fuck. No, that movie's actually great because the fucking twist or whatever. Watch Fallen.
But there's no way to win.
Yeah, you have to
get him in the middle of a parking lot.
Where there's like
even
nothing
then,
for
it's
like
hard
so
to say
many,
there's nothing living because you get into like an ant.
I don't know how like good the thing has to be for you to possess or whatever, right? Anyway, about this, I don't know. So like, I don't know if all those people whose bodies are dying, like, do they go directly back to hell if they can't find someone? Does the host just sit there until like the coroner comes? Is like every coroner in the city now a demon because they just eventually go pick up a guy or whatever the fuck?
I don't know.
The hospital must be full of demons. Yeah.
I would assume there's an expiration period.
I would assume so too. Scottish guy comes to the ice rink hockey place, observes the scene and remarks, "She's coming along nicely."
Well, he says, "Was it her or was it him?"
Yeah,
it was her.
And he's like,
he knows. He's
into that. He like wants that to be the case.
Well, my thought.
He's like, "Oh, you woke up a crazy head now."
My thought is there's going to be something where she's going to grow more powerful throughout the show, and either in like this season finale or maybe the next one, he'll try to possess her maybe and take over this body that has powers greater than his own.
That's what I was getting at the whole fucking time. Was like, I wonder if she can even be possessed because she was like descendant of a demon somehow or whatever. And does being a seer even protect you in some way or whatever? Because it seems like that's a very easy solution to this problem.
Just possess them.
And even just like, then you can detect other rogue demons that are not aligned with you using their thing, I guess, or whatever.
I think demons can already tell demons.
Oh, like regardless?
That would be my
Hopefully,
guess.
Yeah.
Because if they can't, that'd be weird.
Yeah. I don't know the rules, but they're being cool about the rules where it feels weird.
Well, I guess if you can only detect another demon by seeing their face, their fiery face, it would explain why he didn't know that girl was tricking him because her face was down.
Okay. I don't know if the demons can see each other. If they can't, they're being pretty cavalier about who they fucking throw off roofs and do shit like that in the first place, right?
Yeah.
That could have just been some shav.
Some just dude with a bat just hanging out. He probably deserved it anyway.
What are you doing here? Yeah, pretty much.
Well, at the very end.
Real quick comment.
Sure.
The music's really good.
Yeah.
I actually rewatched the first episode, and in both episodes there's really good musical choices, like funny in a way too. Of like once the lyrics kick in, they're saying something that like pertains to like the dumb thing happening. And there's all these awesome covers where it's like slow covers of like British, girls doing covers of like 90s rock songs and weird indie songs that I know or something like that.
That's probably also because it's cheaper.
Yeah, Where Is My Mind by the Pixies and In the Pines by somebody or whatever the fuck. That's on the Kurt Cobain Unplugged thing. They did a cover of that when they were in the woods or whatever. I like that. I appreciate that if it's in there and it works. Hopefully they keep that up.
Sure. The last bit of this episode is you're seeing some little flashes, a dream of like our zombie dead person friend eating like butter. I
was just gonna say, see some bitch eating a stick of butter. It's great.
Yeah, and then she's brushing her teeth. Does the whole like the very token look in the mirror, spit, look up, and then bam, in the mirror behind her is her friend. You killed me, you bitch, or whatever she says.
You killed me, you silly bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she looks weird and stuff. So that's awesome.
She's probably going to be like a zombie now or some other fun thing.
So now there's a foursome. You got the awkward guy who drives them around, and you got the two seers, and then you got the friend who's like, I'm fucking dead now. This sucks. And all that stuff.
So you're hopefully, how I'd picture this is you have your half demon who has telekinetic powers. You have your seer who may end up with some other power over
I hope
the
she
course
gets
of the
the
show.
power. I hope she gets
you have your zombie who's like going to take stab wounds and not die and kill things and do whatever, and then you're janky human who's like, I rub my ass with meat. And
Yes.
that's a perfect crew right
Who
there.
keeps getting like the shit end of the It is like the weird alternate reality Scooby Doo crew or whatever. It's the Buffy. What
The
do they?
Scooby Gang.
What do they call those people
The Scooby Gang.
on Buffy?
Yeah.
There you go. They knew what I was talking about. I thought they had their own original name and not
The
some
Scoobies.
just taking the Scoobies or whatever.
Nope.
Yeah, because he's like a Xander, only he doesn't have the 8 seasons to like develop whatever extra thing they gave
But
him.
Who we'll see.
We'll see. He could turn
No, I'm
into
definitely
something.
interested, and this is a show I wait the next season, and obviously to finish this season.
And it's a short season, and it's British, and it's a joy, and it's a treat. And
If you've not seen this and somehow watched this, we spoiled this
You've made
episode for you,
several
but check out
mistakes.
the next one. Until next
Fucking
time,
A.
guys, don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.